Year One in review.
That's right. I thought you were going to start a section.
What?
They're going to start a section like in the show, like in the other show.
Tubesquat. The 80s continue, Chris.
A year's worth of Tubesquat. That's what we're here for.
A year's worth.
Guys, welcome to a year's worth of Tubesquat. Yes.
Guys, welcome.
I got it in.
He's not.
I got it in.
No. So what we do here is we take properties, we jam them together. We're making our own 80s shared universe.
That's right. Yep.
We're making it. So we went through movies. We're going to go through TV.
If you haven't seen the movies one,
we're also
go watch that one.
Also going to go through cartoons. We're going to go through toys, and we're going to go through video games. So
right.
let's start the tube section off, which is our television section, and to give you some little tidbits of information about the yesteryear, the last year that we went through this. What do we have for the Tubesquat? Repeats. Now, repeats can come up because if we get a TV show, if we get Growing Pains and Alf, let's say, for example,
right,
we are creating a little a sequel or spin-off or prequel maybe even. And if we get Alf again, this time going against Give Me a Break.
Oh, good one.
Right? If it's going against there, that's fine. We don't mind getting the repeats. That's Chris, it's fine.
Do you have these?
It's fine if we get the repeats.
Okay? It's more than fine.
We
You all right? Is that okay?
Let me think here for a second. We
welcome.
We welcome.
We relish. You really couldn't come up with welcome?
We welcome. We take in.
The thing is, when we get a repeat, on the repeats we've had, he'll research it in a different way than I research it. He brings up different information than I bring up, which is great. And that's what we do on this show. That's what Half Classic Blend is diving deep into the TV shows and the movies and the games and all this stuff. And we give them back to you guys. And you go, oh my God, I remember that. That's great. And then we say, well, hold on now. Now we're going to make our own thing. Like Kenny said, it's a shared universe. We're going to just throw these things together. And we're going to squat them together. Now, so we're going to get through some stats. Now, do you have numbers on this?
I have numbers on...
We're going to give you some stats.
Yeah,
you know what it is?
Repeats. We don't mind the repeats. You know why? We got 6 of them in the past year, Chris. Year 1 of Retro Squad / Classic Blend. 6 repeats.
Oh, there it is. I didn't have the right sheet in front of me.
Tell me some of these repeats.
Oh my God. So some of the repeats are... Wow, I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
No, this doesn't...
6. We've only gotten them twice. Nothing. We haven't gotten anything.
Okay, so each of these shows is twice.
We haven't gotten anything 3 times
repeated
yet.
Once.
Yes.
That's how it works. So we got the show twice throughout the 52 episodes of Classic Blend.
Let's go for it.
They are Anything But Love, Baywatch, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Cop Rock, The Munsters, and Sweet Valley High.
6
TV shows that have reared their ugly heads.
Twice.
Now,
if I'm not mistaken, I never got Buck Rogers, did I?
I got Buck. No,
I think you got that twice. We each got that once. I don't believe I ever got that.
Okay. I know I had Sweet Valley High once.
You got Anything But Love twice.
I did that, yeah. Baywatch we each got.
Yes, we each got that. We each got Cop Rock. We each got Sweet Valley High. And only I got the Munsters twice.
Munsters twice, yeah. Some little stats. This is for you statistician. How would you say that word?
Statistical.
Those of you statistically inclined.
Yes.
Enthusiasts. Yes. Statistically enthusiastic about this.
Yes. Now, here's the disclaimer about the Munsters real quick. Munsters was from the 60s?
66.
Something like that. Now, we did take things. We made exceptions for certain properties.
What do you mean exceptions?
Exceptions as in if it was on television during the 80s a lot, right? We would say, fine, we'll let it in. Yeah. Such as like My Three Sons or The Odd Couple or I Dream of Jeannie. That stuff was fine because it was available. It was readily available.
Yeah, right.
We were able to see that stuff, during the 80s growing up. So the Munsters was fine because it would be on TV in reruns.
Yeah.
Totally fine. So genres most represented, no surprise, sitcoms. 33 instances of sitcoms.
33 out of 100 and... Why can't we do that?
Idiot. 104. 104 chances, and 33 of them were sitcoms. Now that's fine. Anything But Love, for example, was chosen twice, or not chosen twice, was randomly generated twice.
Right.
That counts twice, 2 sitcoms, because it's appearances of them.
Action.
We had some action shows.
11.
It took 11. It took 24 episodes to get our first action show, like an action drama show.
Oh my god!
And the funny thing is, we doubled down on it on that episode 24. We got the Young Riders, which was about the mail or something like that.
Yeah, it was
delivering mail.
Old West.
Which is kind of crazy because there's the Old West delivering mail. Then there was the Aviator movie with Christopher Reeve delivering mail. Right.
It's not that interesting.
So I'm fascinated.
He just likes the Aviator.
Fascinated. Speaking of airmail, Airwolf.
Airwolf
was also
nothing to do with mail.
That can't be
the
true.
next genre, science fiction.
That can't be true.
The next genre.
Talk about that a little bit.
Science fiction. 10 titles. The last represented was Quantum Leap in episode 42.
You're a Quantum Leap.
Well, I was. Drama. We had 9 episodes. TV shows that were considered drama. 7 educational TV shows. 7.
That's
and
a lot now.
Rounding out the bottom, game shows was we only had 5.
5 what?
5 game shows. Randomly generated for us. The first one was in episode number 1.
Episode number 1.
What are you looking at?
Very interesting. Yours are on the floor though. You stole mine.
Oh.
So I just wanted to say episode 24 was the Young
Riders and
Riders.
Airwolves. You had it.
No. Young Riders was the only one that appeared in episode 24.
Oh,
and
it was
25 was Airwolf.
Yeah, so you were wrong. So 24 and 25.
Yeah,
so yes,
I was
24 was the
Airwolf
first action.
definitely did not get mixed up with the Young Riders.
No, because
it was
Airwolf. Flow Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh.
All right. Okay, so
game shows. First episode, we topped that off, right?
First episode. So why don't we jump into that? So
let's get in here.
This is what we're doing here on Classic Blend. We like to dive into, like I said earlier, we talk about the shows, we reminisce about them, and we get a real good.
The actual show. Remember, this is a year in review.
So the year in review, we're gonna talk about the actual properties that we created, the squats that were created on the Classic Blend.
Yeah. So if you want to
hear
hear the creation of the episodes, go to Classic Blend. 52, 51, 50, so on.
All the way back to episode 1.
All the way
which
back
we're
to
going to
episode
start
1.
at. And here's the funny thing. If you watched any of the other videos, we don't remember anything until about episode maybe 33, 34.
Yeah. So
okay?
we'll see.
We're going to way back to episode 1.
Yep.
I'll do odds this time.
You'll do odds this time?
No, I did odds last time. You want to do odds this time?
I'll do it.
All right.
Episode 1, Name That Tune, Family Matters.
We had game show and a sitcom.
We created Family Tunes, and it was basically Steve Urkel in character hosting
a game show,
a family game show. He added in there like dubstep or techno or
one of the categories I added like EDM, electronic dance music.
That's the thing is name that tune and it's like
and then like you do a drop and it's like oh I know what that one is.
Yeah, like how would anybody know?
Amazing, absolutely.
Who the artist is? Like I understand like saying oh that's the Commodores. Well, that's Debbie Gibson, but I can't say oh that's some random EDM.
You didn't know about any of those, huh?
So no. Chris.
Okay. So, Family Tunes. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good show. I like that show. Yeah. All right. Episode 2, we got Dallas and Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. And we created a show called Cal Rogers in the 25th Century.
Which was the son or...
Dude, all I remember is I got that timeline so messed up.
I don't know.
So,
I know. It shouldn't have been the 25th century.
But it was...
Like the 23rd century or something.
Anyway, but it was his like great something or other. Yeah. And I don't remember the actual premise of the show.
Doesn't matter.
Dallas. They were in Dallas.
Because in episode 3, we had WCW Saturday Night Wrestling, Chris. Wrestling brother. Wrong. I understand. Don't get on me.
Because he did go.
Game.
He did go.
Oh, that's true. Hollywood Hogan,
yeah. And yeah.
So we mixed it up with the dating game.
The dating game.
So we created the WCD and sometimes G. Now this was, if I'm not mistaken, a dating game where people would just come in and just tackle people in the interview.
Yeah.
They were sitting down in the interview and then they would just come in and just clothesline them.
That's right.
Yeah. Off
that
the top
good.
ropes.
That was good. Oh my god. But what did that mean? What was sometimes G?
Because I think it was like the WCW, right? The WC dating game. Sometimes.
Oh, the WC dating and sometimes G for game.
Sometimes game, yeah.
All right, WCW and sometimes G. Yeah. Oh, that's a close run-up for best title for me.
It's really that one?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Right,
Episode 4.
Let's go.
We ran out with the Sinbad Show and Too Close for Comfort.
Yeah.
2 sitcoms.
Lose my pen.
2 sitcoms. There
it's
you
like
go.
my thing.
I had it here the whole time.
Okay.
And we came up with Too Close to Sinbad.
Now that was a good one, because Sinbad moved next door or something like that, or you had him as a DJ again. Remember
I
that?
didn't I?
He had him as a DJ. Sinbad is like a DJ, like making music and stuff like that. And
he was annoying. Remember, he was like
annoying
really annoying
because he was really loud in his apartment, and they were like, "We live too close to Sinbad."
Yeah,
and that's basically what it was.
All right, hey, listen, we're doing pretty good so far. Episode 5. What do you got?
What do I have? What do we have? Roseanne and Baywatch. We took Hobie out of Baywatch and made him. I do believe we brought him to Chicago
where Roseanne takes place.
Right, and we married him off on
Becky.
Becky, I believe.
Yeah, the blonde.
Yeah, and we killed off David Hasselhoff's character, Mitch.
Yep. We
killed off Mitch, and that's why Hobie didn't want to be a lifeguard like his dad. So
yeah.
Remember? So his dad fell off the boat, and Hobie's like, "No, I refuse to be like you.
Yeah,
I refuse to save you," and he didn't save him.
Yeah.
And he ended up dying, and then he said, "Never again. Nobody will ever die again." And he ended up becoming a lifeguard, just like his dad, and ended up saving, I think, Dan.
Yeah, what did you call it?
Right, Dan.
We
called it Hobie Beach, Chicago.
Hobie Beach,
Chicago doesn't have any beaches. Come on.
It's got lakes. That's why it has the lakes in there, doesn't it?
That was part of.
That was the whole point.
Hobie Beach, Chicago.
Good one. That was good. Hobie Beach, Chicago. Yep. Episode 6. This one kills me. I love it. 8 is Enough, and Sweet Valley High. Yeah, so 8 is Enough. Dick Van Dyke? No, Dick Van Patten. Had a bunch of kids, right? And then Sweet Valley High were the 2 blonde twins, and it was a little high school drama, or whatever, right? You wrote sci-fi for Sweet Valley High. I just want to let you know the genre for sci-fi. Gotcha. We called this one Enough is Enough. I love it.
You called it that.
Did you say
Originally,
more?
it was going to be called 8 is 8 or something like that. Remember that? We were going to have something like 8 is never enough, or 8 is... I don't know. There was
but then we decided
crazy
on Enough is Enough because it was like...
They had like a lot of kids. There were a lot of kids.
Stop having so many kids.
Yeah, there were a lot of
That's
kids.
the premise of the show. There you go. That's all you need to know. Number 7.
Okay. Number 7. Saved by the Bell.
Go watch episode 7 because...
Going Bananas. Do you know what Going Bananas is?
You don't know what Going Bananas is? You don't know Going... Roxana Banana.
That's all you need to know.
No. We also need to know aliens come down.
This is not us making up the show.
Aliens come down and they shoot an orangutan
with a beam.
With a beam, and she becomes
a superhero.
Fighting orangutan.
This is the real show, Going Bananas.
Going Bananas.
And then we had to merge that with Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
So I don't know who we took from Saved by the Bell that was like a zookeeper. They wanted to become a zookeeper.
The Screech.
Was it Screech?
And Lisa was a vet.
Listen.
Remember?
Listen, I know what you're thinking. It's so easy, like Screech. Come on, they took Screech. You know why? Ratings, people. Nobody's going to watch a show based on Zach.
Not anymore.
You know what I mean?
Like all about Screech and Lisa. And Lisa was a vet. Because that's what she wanted to be on the
perfect.
show.
Yeah, it was
we called
perfect.
Saved by the Bell, the Banana Years.
Yep. There was a Saved by the Bell, the College Years, right?
There was the College Years, yeah.
So this is the Banana Years.
I cannot wait to look
this was in the beginning where we were like getting this stuff, and we were just merging titles and doing all kinds of weird.
No, but this one actually worked. Like this, I'm sorry, but so far we're 7 episodes in, and these titles are great.
Titles are fantastic.
These TV shows are great.
8 coming at you.
We didn't talk about Saved by the Bell Banana Years was. It was.
We just did.
No, but remember they had the orangutans. There was the kids had the powers.
Oh, that's right, the kids.
And they were at the Max. The Max was still around.
The orangutan kids.
Orangutan kids, yeah.
They had powers.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, episode 8. What? Oh God, MathNet and Anything But Love.
MathNet was a show on PBS. If I'm not
it was
mistaken.
educational. Yeah.
That was about like math. There was Monday instead of Friday. It was like
Dragnet. It was a playoff Dragnet.
Yeah, but
they did some math.
It was kind of funny. A lot of puns in the narration on the show.
True.
It was actually really interesting. It's definitely worth a watch if you want to check it out on YouTube. Look up MathNet and just listen to it. It's really clever.
Yeah.
Just for like a minute or something like that.
And I made Anything But Love with Richard Lewis and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Now, Richard Lewis, I got mixed up with somebody every single time you said it. Remember that? And I don't remember who it was, but I do recall that. Anyway, the lady from MathNet, she didn't want to do math anymore. She was retired. She was doing a private eye or something like that.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Richard Lewis was a neurotic newspaper journalist or something like that, or television journalist.
Yep.
And they lived next door to each other or something, and she didn't even have a number on her door because she couldn't stand. She didn't want to do anything with numbers anymore. She was done.
She wanted anything.
Nothing with math.
Anything but math.
Like go to the restaurant. I don't even want to pay the bill. Don't even care. Don't want to see it.
Don't want to know.
Just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
That was it. Anything but math.
And that was the name of it. Anything but math.
Yeah.
It's good times.
All right. Here's here's a big one. Hard Time on Planet Earth, which starred Martin Cove.
Martin Cove, the bad guy from
John
Sensei.
Kreese. John Kreese from
John
The Karate
Kreese.
Kid. And also Booker, which was a spin-off
Richard
of 21 Jump Street.
Good old Richard Grieco and that hair.
Grieco,
Good old Richard
yeah.
Grieco hair.
So this was Hard Time on Planet Earth was a real show. Martin Cove was an alien from another planet.
An alien warrior
who came to Earth to learn how to become more sympathetic or more caring.
Yeah, it was like his punishment or something.
Yeah, because he was just so aggressive, and it's like, hey, no, you have to go to Earth and blah blah. So he was there, and he was like help people out, do whatever.
Yeah,
he
but foibles.
Booker is just another cop show. So it was called. We ended up calling the show Booker in Hard Times on Planet Cove, starring Richard Grieco and Martin Cove as Bigby. That was the title.
Did you have to rewrite that in because
longest title ever?
I don't have the whole thing of that.
Yeah, no, I know because it wouldn't fit.
You remembered it?
It showed it off.
Oh,
yeah, come on, man. Go ahead, number 10.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Can I just say it again? Booker in Hard Time on
number
Planet
10.
Cove, starring Richard Grieco, and it's so good. This was good. We had Buck Rogers in 25th Century.
Was
again,
it featuring? It might have been featuring.
I think it was featuring. We could see that. It should be on the back page there.
Booker
starring
in
Richard
Hard Time?
Grieco and Martin Cove as Bigby.
Okay, yeah, okay, it was. Okay.
All right, so like I said, the next episode was episode 10, and we had Buck Rogers in 25th Century again, and Three's Company.
Mm-hmm.
And this one we called 3.0's Company.
Why? Because Chrissy was now a robot.
That's right.
Or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
she was
God.
A robot.
That image you made. Chrissy the robot, that's right.
Fact.
Yeah,
okay.
And it was funny. It was a sitcom, and I think that's all we did now.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Here we go, number 11. You ready for it?
No, God, please.
Okay. I got Circus of the Stars on this one. He got, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to say the title without falling asleep.
Just say it.
30-something.
30-something. Lowercase. The title is all lowercase, by the way.
Does anybody remember when 30-something would come on TV?
You youngins probably don't.
It was bedtime. It was like way past. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm up really late. Like, because it was like, it was almost like 2 hours or something after your bedtime. All of a sudden, 30-something would come on TV. You'd maybe be asleep watching Growing Pains or something, and you'd fall asleep on the couch and also wake up and what is this nonsense?
Yep.
And it was 30-something.
Awful.
It was. It's not worth looking up. It's not worth anything.
But Circus of the Stars
It was just a bunch of 30-something people that were just.
Let it go.
It was just.
Pull it back. Pull it back.
I must be missing something.
Well, you won 30-something.
But you wonder how a show like this airs.
30-something people watched that and went like this. They were like, yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We watch that now, and we don't do that. We go, no.
Do you think you could watch that? I just remember that one dude with the beard.
With the red hair.
Yeah.
No. Circus of the Stars. What was Circus of the Stars again?
Circus of the Stars. It was like Dancing with the Stars, except it was a circus. They'd actually practice like trapeze or tightrope walking, and it would be the stars performing in a circus.
So what did we call? We called this one
Circus something, and it was the most boring circus ever.
That was the premise of it? It was just
It was just boring. It was just circus. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Good times.
We should have had a circus with a bunch of 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
You have to be in your 30s in order to go to the circus.
All right. So let's move past that. Episode 12, we had Columbo
yes,
and Kate and Allie.
little bit of Peter Falk.
Peter Falk, and so we call this one Frank and Allie.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about this. Frank Columbo, right? Columbo's name is Frank.
Oh, okay.
And he married Allie, right? I think he married Allie or Kate, but Kate was still there. I think he married Allie. I think Kate was still there, and he always tried to solve things. Remember? There was like his sock went missing in the dryer, and he'd be like,
right.
And he'd try to solve like where the sock went,
right,
or something like that.
A little sitcom. We had a little sitcom.
It was a little funny. Moving on to 13 here, Lucky 13, Private Eye, which was a comedy, don't recall it, and then the all-new Mickey Mouse Club. Private Eye, I do kind of think, I don't know if it was a Richard Grieco joint or there was somebody in there, because it was like a movie and then they came out with a TV show. Maybe it was Judd Nelson. I'm not positive. I don't recall. But anyway, Mickey Mouse Club had something to do with that, and we called it MMC Public Eye. Why?
Oh, because they were out in the public eye or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember, man. Who knows? But I kind of like the title.
Yeah, it wasn't a private eye. It was a public eye.
Yeah, public eye. It wasn't a private eye.
It was
Public eye, yeah.
Stupid.
So when in doubt, just make a really dumb title and hope the show formulates from there.
That's it.
Episode 14, we rolled up with Double Trouble and Cop Rock.
Double Trouble is a show about twins.
Yep.
Cop Rock was singing
like
and dancing.
teenage preteen twins.
Yeah, they were. I think they were teenagers.
13. And Cop Rock was exactly what it sounds like. It was a show. It was a cop procedural show where they had with dance numbers.
And we had one of the twins or both of them became choreographers.
But also
right?
cops.
Also cops. They became. That's right.
So we called it Double Cop Trouble.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's a good. Man, I'm gonna tell you, these titles are pretty good, man. These are way better than the movie titles.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Somebody's on some kind of pain medication.
I had my two.
All right. Star Trek 227, which we made out of Star Trek The Next Generation and 227.
Oh, yeah, episode 15.
Right.
227.
We took the main character and threw her in
was it?
I
that
think
was Nell Carter?
room 2. No.
What show was she on?
Marla Mabel's, something like that? I don't know.
Anyway, we took the concept of 227 and we put it on the Enterprise. There you go.
There was, she was in room 227 or something like that, right?
Sweet Cabin 227.
Yep.
Great. Moving on, episode 16, we pulled out with Freddy's Nightmares and The Tonight Show to create The Tonight Show with Frederick Krueger Jr.
Now, we know what you're thinking. Freddy Krueger. No, this is Freddy Krueger. This isn't his son. And we do understand he wasn't a junior.
Yeah.
However,
we get it.
Sometimes
the emails.
Sometimes you have a stage name.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Like in my stage name, if I had a show, it'd be Frederick Krueger Jr. But that's just me.
Oh. Thought you'd be like,
No, that's a joke, man.
Oh. Okay.
I was gonna say Chris Krueger Jr., but
gotcha.
Talk show. Would that have worked?
Anyway, he would have celebrities on the show, and he'd interview them, and then you'd see inside of he'd get inside their head, make them fall asleep or something
he interviewed them. He'd be like, and now let's see. He made their worst nightmare come onto the stage, and like it would kill them.
It was some kind of thing,
and they'd have to get out of that situation. Yeah,
something like that.
He's like, and let's see what your nightmare is.
Yeah,
it was in real time though. We did it.
Yeah, a lot of the times it seems like when we get these properties, again, they're randomly generated. They have themes already associated with the two of them.
So it's easy to sometimes some of these things just click right in.
But that's the thing is, so here's an instant. Like, I mean, we had Freddy's Nightmares, which was that
was an anthology.
It's an anthology
with Freddy Krueger.
But then we go with the Tonight Show, which is
an anthology show.
It's it's a talk show, but you have different. There's nothing constant. You know what I mean? Like, you have Freddy's Nightmares with Freddy, who is the host. And you have the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Who's the host?
Say who's the host,
and
that's your only constant between the two.
Besides the interviewing,
right? But that's what I'm saying.
He had like skits though.
Right, but then we have episode 17 with Newton's Apples and Nickelodeon's Guts.
Yeah,
which is another thing where there's it's different each time because Newton's Apple was an educational show. Nickelodeon Guts was a game show,
a kids game show. But as I recall, we did a pretty good job. We combined them.
Yeah.
To be a game show, an educational game show.
We did, yeah. Newton's Guts.
Newton's Guts.
Yep.
Which
Next.
I like that.
Okay. And then again with the similarities in.
Oh,
18.
my episode 18, we got the Equalizer and Stingray, which essentially were the same show. Vigilante dudes.
They both had cars, right?
They both had cars, and they both were vigilantes.
Mm-hmm.
So and one guy's name was Ray, the other guy's name was Robert, so we just ended up calling it Ray and Robert Vigilante Justice. I'm sorry, but that's a great title.
Okay.
When you grab these two heroes and you put them together, why not?
Square Pegs. Crazy Like a Fox in number 19.
Oh, that's good.
We came up with Crazy Pegs. Square Pegs was what?
Crazy Pegs.
What was Square Pegs? Real quick.
Oh, it was about like the family, right, with the kids and
the kids. Sarah Jessica Parker was in it, right?
Oh, that's right. It was like
and then,
high school angsty. Yeah.
Crazy Like a Fox was a dad who was an attorney, or a dad who was a cop, and the son was a lawyer, and the dad would always, he was retired or something. Maybe
the dad would always try and like.
He'd always go with the son and be like, "Hey,
himself into.
Can you pick me up? I need to go someplace." And the son would be like, "Oh, whoa. I'm not getting any more of your trouble, Dad. I'm not getting in trouble with it." And the dad would be like, "What could possibly go wrong?"
Yeah.
You know, and it would be and then there would always hijinks.
Yeah, hijinks ensue.
I don't know what Crazy Pegs was about.
Crazy Pegs was, weren't the kids got older or something?
Don't know, don't care. 20.
No. 20 was a special episode that we were trying out where we took we randomly chose a genre, a medium, so TVs, movies, games, whatever. We got TV. We had to find a TV show, which was Benson, and we had to turn it into another property, like another genre, whatever. And that turned out that we had to make the TV show into a cartoon, and we did that. So go check that out. That was actually a pretty good one. I like that one. Mm-hmm. So moving on to 21.
21, Sliders and Charlie's Angels.
Love Sliders. Love Sliders.
Okay, sliding through time. That's it. Charlie's Angels. Another kind of mystery kind of.
But kicking chicks.
Yeah.
Where do we get
Arturo's Angels? If I'm not mistaken, the mastermind in Sliders was named Arturo. Was that correct? And that's why we kind of had him. He was buddies with Charlie. I don't know if Charlie met his demise or if Arturo had a separate section where he had his own angel. No, they went through time.
Well, yeah.
Remember, one of the angels got lost in time, and the other two had to find her.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay.
So they went with the dude from Sliders, and they were like, "Hey, I can teach you how to get him."
Yeah. Okay.
And all that stuff.
Arturo's Angels. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yep. Go.
Episode 22, we Encyclopedia and I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah, it's a horrible title on this one.
So we created We Wish Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen. Sometimes, guys, you get these shows.
Why Nelson?
Because that was the name of the Captain Nelson. Wasn't it? That was his name?
Don't know about that. I think it was because wasn't Nelson? There was a band on Encyclopedia?
Yeah, but they weren't. What were they called?
I don't remember.
They were like the Crazy Bones, something. What was their name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, We Wish Nelson. Not our most shining moment.
Yeah, it made sense if you listen to it. Go back and listen.
But
to it.
here's a funny one. Here's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I forgot.
23?
23, yeah.
It's a Living in Melrose Place. It's a Living. I think they worked in like a restaurant, diner, something like that. Melrose Place was another one of those goofy.
It was a restaurant in an apartment building or a hotel.
That's what we made because.
We made it that. Yeah.
Because Melrose Place was.
That's a place in
20-somethings.
Yeah.
That lived. It was like drama after college or something like that. It wasn't quite college. But
so just before you had 30-something, you had Melrose Place.
Yeah. So.
But that's not as despised as 30-something.
But but it's a Living. So we basically went back in time to a prequel to It's a Living, and instead of middle-aged women working in the restaurant or the diner.
It was
when they were younger and starting out. Like, hey, some guy had an idea. And, I need people to work here at my restaurant. And it was like on the top of an apartment or in the complex or on top of a building.
Right.
Some kind of crazy thing like that. And they were like, okay. And it was basically their lives in and outside of the restaurant.
Right. And we called it Melrose Place 80. as in 1980. So
yes.
apostrophe 80.
There you go.
This was a good one. I like this one. 24, we had Street Hawk and the Young Riders.
Yeah.
We mentioned this at the top. We made a show called Trail Riders. Street Hawk was, obviously a
vigilante on a bike.
Because we just
motorcycle.
Yeah, so not to be confused with the Equalizer or Stingray, Street Hawk was a vigilante on a motorcycle, and the Young Riders were
male people.
They were like, I was gonna say vigilantes on horses, but
it was the
story
railroad,
of the story of the riders that would take the messages and the mail through.
Yeah, what did they call
towns
that?
And stuff.
They called that
Young Riders.
It was called something
the
though.
Express. It was like
Pony
Express.
Something like that. I think it was a Pony.
Anyway, but we called this Trail Riders. It was like obviously you have horses, you have a bike.
But if I'm not mistaken, there was like portals involved.
We portaled them. Yeah, we did some like interdimensional stuff where the bikes went into back in time, and then the horses went forward, and
yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
well done. Anyway, Kenny's favorite.
So 25, we got Flo with Airwolf, Airwolf vigilante helicopter, and Flo vigilante in a diner. So we realized that I can't think of the stupid word of what it is, but anyway, FLOWOLF is the same word backwards and forwards. It's
parallelogram.
No, it's not a parallelogram.
A dichotomy.
Okay.
I
don't even want to think about it. Anyway, it's the same. So Flowwolf.
What's that word?
Flowwolf is the same frontwards and backwards.
Whatever, man. You get it. What? Sorry. Tired.
Yeah.
Looking at two tired dudes. Anyway, yeah.
So that's that. Flowwolf. So basically, it's Flo riding in a helicopter. She's an Airwolf, man.
Yeah.
She's riding around. I think there was a helipad on top of the diner, and that was it. And she was able to take that thing out and go on missions.
Okay, so.
Anagram?
No, an anagram is thing with the. Episode 26 is Sweet Valley High, again.
Yep.
And Mr. Wizard's World. And we came up with Mrs. Wizards.
Mrs. Wizards.
I think we made them this time. We made them the wives of teachers.
I believe.
Or a wizard? No, it was a show within a show.
It was a show within a show, if I'm not mistaken, that Mr. Wizard had 2 kids. And the 2 girls from Sweet Valley High
married them.
Yeah.
And
it was kind of, it was like a show within a show where it was a talk show. And it was also a science show or something.
Oh, yeah, they had the segment. That's right, yeah.
So that's how that worked.
Not bad.
So. Baywatch and Reading Rainbow in episode 27. This wasn't a bad one. It came out pretty good. Baywatch called Save the Date. What do you think of when you think of Save the Date?
Wedding?
You do, don't you?
What did we do?
No, this was...
somehow
this was we had somebody...
convoluted.
We had lifeguards.
I don't remember this.
Right? And it was basically like a talk show or a game show in a way, like a dating game. And basically it was somebody who was on the TV show, and they threw the date in the water, and then the lifeguard had to save them. Or the person that they were getting matched with or something had to save them as a lifeguard. Right? They had to save them. Save your date. Save the date. That's what it was.
Oh, they had to save the date that they were on.
They had to save the date. No, they had to save the date that got tossed in the water.
Oh, oh my
right?
God. Yeah, I still don't understand.
Something like that.
Whatever. Anyway.
So anyway, that's Baywatch Save the Date.
Baywatch Save the Date. Great.
Baywatch and Reading Rainbow. How did we get Reading Rainbow to that? Because didn't it have something to do with they had to spell words, and they had to do something with words, and then it turned into like something crazy, like if they got something wrong, throw in the water.
Listen, I think I blocked it out of my entire mememory.
Chris
but
is
this,
coming
however,
at you with
I did not block out. Episode 28, we had Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and Jan Can Cook.
Hold on. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
It's good. Not bad.
The original YouTube voice.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jan Can Cook, yeah.
We came up with Lifestyles of Jan. Jan Can Live.
No.
Lifestyles of Jan Can Live.
Take 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous obviously was what's it? Robin.
Robin
Leach. Come on. Robin Leach went to these rich people's places and stuff like that. Jan Can Cook was awesome because
he would teach you how to cook.
He'd teach you how to cook. And he was
However, the show that we made up, Lifestyles of Jan, was basically Jan's life. Here's his garage, here's his kitchen, here's his house, here's his living room.
So Jan can live.
And I do believe, didn't we have a walk with Jan kind of competition on there?
Yeah, we did.
Like where he was like, they were like rivals and,
yeah,
you know, set each other up and stuff.
So, oddly, funny enough, there was another show called Walk with Jan. And
Different Jan.
Different Jan, but he wore like the best aprons. It was so,
gosh,
God, please.
Yeah, walk and roll.
Walk and roll.
Oh, walk this way. You know?
I just want to go back and look at all those again.
Don't walk the boat.
Don't walk the boat.
29, here we go. The Greatest American Hero, Dude Can't Land, and Photon.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Right? Photon, they game. It was like laser
tag. So,
but in hindsight, the cooler version of laser tag, even though I had laser tag, I think Photon might have been cooler. Go ahead.
I always wanted laser tag because I had Photon.
Talk about the Greatest American Hero.
Greatest American Hero is an alien that is a human that gets powers from an alien to become like a champion to help save the people.
The spacesuit. He found the suit.
Well, from aliens though. And remember, there were more than one group of people that he tried. The aliens. Yeah, the aliens had given the suit to more than one group of people. It was a guy. It was a detective and William Catt. I forget what he was, a teacher or something like that. And they always buddied them up, and one guy would have the powers, and the other guy would be like his watcher, and and then Photon was some cockamamie story about them.
He left out the biggest part of a Greatest American Hero.
I didn't get there yet.
He couldn't land. He lost the instruction booklet for the suit.
And
so he could fly and he could do all that stuff, but anytime he needed to land, he would just crash.
He just crashed.
Like when I go skiing, if I need to stop,
he just crash.
I just crash. Yeah. I just fall down or I hit a tree.
Or if he needs to ride a bike and he can't stop, he just falls over and crashes. That's all.
If I'm carrying root beer floats. So Captain Crash was his nickname, correct?
Right. So they named him Captain Crash. Photon had all these like
creatures
and
it was like
aliens,
a creature
and it
from
was like
a human and another creature from one planet or from another planet.
So they were like an intergalactic team of cops in a way that went and did stuff.
Yeah, something like that. They recruited him. That's the show.
So we called it Captain Crash because I don't think I said it. Captain Crash. Oh no, you didn't say it.
Yeah.
Captain Crash, the ultimate hero of Photon.
Cool.
Good stuff. Episode 30, we pulled out Pictionary and MacGyver to create.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm not going to say it yet.
Don't even say it yet.
You know what MacGyver is? Roll duct tape, paper towel,
and a sweaty armpit.
And some more duct tape. And you make a bomb. Pictionary, teams, gotta draw. Yeah. You gotta do that, right? We made a show called MacGyver That.
MacGyver That, which was basically like you needed to make.
You were given materials, like these random materials, and you had to make whatever was on the card.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Now here's the thing: Pictionary, yes, board game, yes, it was an NES game, yes, it was all that stuff, but it was a game show. This was a legitimate game show on TV. Win, Lose, or Draw was a game show. Scrabble was a game show. Pictionary was a game show. They had all this stuff. Right. So that's why
we did MacGyver That. Get in there.
MacGyver That.
Yep.
And who was the host on that? Wasn't it just like his daughter or something like that?
Oh yeah, something like that. Because it was the daughter. Yeah.
Right. I believe that's what that was.
Yep.
So here we go. 31. We had Newhart, and we had the Cosby Show together. So Newhart, I never really watched it. Cosby Show, watched it a lot. And then we decided we got into a little bit of a thing. The end of Newhart, the series, was notable for. He wakes up at the end. Okay, Newhart, the guy who plays Newhart was on, I think it was Mary Tyler Moore show, if I'm not mistaken. Bob Newhart. And he was on that show. And then he had another show called Newhart, and Newhart was, he was an author or a writer or something like that.
And at a like a remote,
like a remote
bed and breakfast or
something. I don't know, something like that, like a cabin or something. I don't know. I don't remember. So, but the last episode of the show, the last shot, he wakes up and he's like, I had the strangest dream, and it's his wife from like the Mary Tyler Moore show or something like that. So the whole like 9 seasons or however long it was, Newhart was all just a dream that this guy had, like a decade later, and it was like, no, he was Newhart. So we had this thing with Cosby Show, where we put the Cosby Show with Newhart, and there was some kind of dream, or he didn't know, and then he woke up and he was really with the person from the Newhart show, or some kind of crazy thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened.
I don't know.
We did some kind of crazy thing. Listen to it; it makes sense.
We called the Cosby Newhart Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, 32 was the Halloween episode, and with that one, I had gotten Eerie, Indiana, and Kenny got the Munsters. So Munsters, we've already talked about. Eerie, Indiana was a really cool show about this kid that moves into this town called Eerie, Indiana, where all this weird stuff and monsters happen, and like Elvis is still alive, and like mermaids exist, and all this stuff. And
cool show.
A very cool show. So I mean, we was this the one where we made it?
Like Herman Munster was at the start. Like because they moved to Eerie. They
moved to Eerie, Indiana, and they
were completely normal there, right? They were
normal. They became the normal ones, as opposed to when they lived on Mockingbird Lane in the original show. They were like the monsters. Yeah. They moved to Eerie and they became the normal ones, and they lived at 1313 Eerie Lane.
That was it. 33, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. And Coach.
One of Kenny's favorites, Coach. Couch
was a good show.
Coachella. Adventures of Briscoe County. I mean, you do remember that, right?
Yeah, I do. I do remember that. We took Briscoe County Junior, or something like that, and made him. He was on a football team.
Oh yeah, no, he was.
Right?
He was
the coach. Yeah. Or the coach. I think we might have met halfway. Like Coach's, like Craig T. Nelson's like grandfather or great grandfather, mixed up with Briscoe County Junior or something.
No, but what happened was it was
there was the orb.
It was County's.
It was an orb.
It was County's relative, great whatever.
Yeah.
Descendant, and the mystical sci-fi part of Briscoe County Junior show was this orb that gave people powers, and people thought that he was the coach, but they thought his coaching was making the team really good or something, but really it was the opposite. Remember, it was like the thing took away. The team was really good, but the thing took away their ability and made them normal.
He gave the star quarterback like some kind of powers, and he ended up being the assistant or something like that. Like he couldn't play with it. I don't know.
We did a little convoluted, and we called it Coach County.
Yep. So go ahead next.
Episode 34, we came up. There was a show. We got Hunter and the Law and Harry McGraw.
Another detective. Another two detective shows.
The Law and Harry McGraw was a lawyer and a PI.
Oh, gosh, I'm already bored.
Was Hunter the detective?
Hunter was, yeah.
And we called it one of my favorite titles, I got to tell you. The Law, McCall, McGraw, and Rick. Because Rick Hunter was the name of the guy from the show. Yeah. McCall was the name of his partner in that show.
Yes, that's right.
You had the Law and McGraw.
Hunter and McCall. Yeah, we already had the Law and McGraw.
The Law, McCall, McGraw, and Rick. What happened was they were like neighbors or something, and they decided to help each other out.
Some kind of crazy thing like that.
Anyway, that's pretty funny.
Blue Skies for Lieutenant O'Hara. Episode 35. We have Blue Skies starring Tom Wopat. Didn't last very long, that show.
No.
Definitely was no Dukes of Hazzard. O'Hara didn't last long either,
Pat
if
Morita,
I'm not mistaken.
Couple seasons.
Pat Morita, he was like a martial arts
LA detective that didn't like to use like weapons and stuff.
All that. But then he did in the second season or later on in the series, something like that.
Because they needed to get ratings and it didn't work.
They needed to get
and whatever, we combined them together.
I think they gave him a partner.
Then they gave him a partner. He used to work alone. The network messing with people. So.
Yep.
They tried to keep it on the air. Didn't work. So
I don't remember how we did whatever we did, but Tom Wopat.
He needed O'Hara's help.
He moved to
the country, O'Hara, didn't he?
Tom Wopat moved to. He became like a logger or something like that, right? He was doing logging.
Somehow he needed Pat Morita's help, O'Hara's help, and some Blue Skies for Lieutenant O'Hara. I don't know.
Anyway, he went out there to work or something.
Anyway, 36.
Oh gosh, here we go.
36, really good. This one was fun for us. The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross and Voyagers.
They went through time. This man and this kid, they would go through time.
They're like
relive
time cops.
Events.
They were time. They had to make sure that they had to maintain the.
They had to maintain. That's right. This guy was a
time cop.
He was basically he had a neon or a time.
It was a time period that he
had
to
keep track of and make sure what was supposed to happen historically would happen that nothing would go out of order, and he'd be jumping through time, in places where he couldn't control, or they would get out of time somehow. I forget how it happened.
Anyway, and he ends up getting this kid along the way, and they go through these adventures. We decided to have them take Bob Ross with them, and the only way they can get out, because they lost their time crystal, whatever the heck, the only way they could get our show, which was called The Joy of Time Travel, the only way they could get out of a time period was if Bob Ross painted a portal for them. And Bob Ross, if you know the show, he'd be sitting there and now we're going to have a happy little tree. And he'd take forever to get the thing painted. So we had a little idea of what if he's sitting there painting and he's like, just paint, we don't need the trees, just paint the road.
They're coming after us, the train's about to smash us.
We had tigers, we had man-eating something, or monkeys or something, they're going to be in the coming.
It was a good one.
Good stuff. So, the Joy of Time Travel.
Yeah, Joy of Time Travel. That's up there with one of the best ones.
I think we should have put with Bob Ross. We should retcon that.
I don't know. 37, we have Guns of Paradise and Crime Story. Guns of Paradise was like a Western, originally called...
Dennis Ferrara. I'm Dennis Ferrara from Crime Story. I'm a cop in Chicago.
I do believe it was Farina. But anyway.
When I say Ferrara?
I'm
twice. Dennis Farina. I'm a hard detective from Chicago. This is my show, Crime Story. It's Dennis Farina.
Guns of Paradise, if I'm not mistaken, was called something else. Was it called Paradise?
It was originally called Paradise, and they named it Guns of Paradise because they didn't think people would know what the show was about, and it was a Western. It was about this guy who moved to this town to take care. His brother died, and he had to take care of the brother's kids, and then he ends up doing stuff for people in the town. Right?
Crime story about a dude looking for another dude. Right, he was a gangster looking for a gangster. Cops and
gangsters, cops and robbers.
So it was called Nature of the Crime.
Oh my God, what? Really?
Yeah, I thought there was something.
That's a cool title, but
Nature of the Crime, but it wasn't.
It was the guy from Guns of Paradise, I think we used.
Weren't they sitting in the diner? Or was that that other show?
That's a different show. Oh.
Or was that movie?
Oh, that might have been the movie, but don't forget
with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh yeah, in Guns of Paradise, the main guy had a Native American guy that helped guide him. Remember? And we used him.
That's why, yes.
And the Dennis
I know
Farina
his deal.
character,
I know the guy behind you owes $20.
So he could intuit people's intentions or whatever. The Native American guy, and we teamed him up with Dennis Farina. Mm-hmm. You know what? Not bad if you want to go with the super procedural. And I think Nature of the Crime really cool.
Okay, even cooler is the next one.
Oh, 38. Oh my God, we had Superboy and Punky Brewster, and we called it. All right, our show was called Punky and Clark because Punky Brewster grew up and was worked for an ad agency or something like that, right? And she lived in the apartment next to Clark Kent, who
she inherited the apartment building.
Oh, she was a landlord.
Clark
That's right.
In.
She was a landlord. She got it, and Clark moved in after being Superboy, but before he was Superman. We said.
Yeah, that's a whole weird thing that they had going on with Superboy.
Whatever.
He's 29 years old or 35.
He was in college. He was after college. Yeah,
now,
it was weird.
listen. We aged them. Superboy and Punky are 35 years old.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's why they're dating. That's why all this stuff is happening.
Oh, they start to date.
That's the show.
Oh, yeah.
She inherits the apartment building that she used to squat in an apartment before Henry found her.
Right.
And then she owned the building, and then Clark ended up moving into that apartment, and she took a liking to him and an attachment to him because he lived in that was the apartment that she used to live in and everything like that. So they took a liking to each other, and they ended up starting dating, and this was supposed to be between Lana and Lois.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
So
Nature of the Crime. Punky and Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That was episode 38.
That's it. Okay, 39, here we go. This was our Christmas episode. We, again, tried to just thematically fit Christmas in a selection. So if we would have chosen something and it would have been, Jan Can Cook, let's say, it wouldn't have worked for Christmas.
That would have worked for Valentine's Day because he loves to cook.
So we pick another one until we can fit the Christmas theme or the season.
Just keep hitting that generate button until something that sparked our imaginations.
So
and
mine came up with Amen, the show, starring Sherman Hemsley.
Yes.
Right?
I was gonna say Jefferson. But
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Jefferson.
And he got anything but love. Don't know why he chose anything but love, but he did.
Oh, I think because
he already had it
no, that's
in
not
the past, and he's like,
no,
I
that's
loved
not
it.
why.
I'm gonna do it.
No, it's something.
I'm gonna do it again.
Christmas,
oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
I
I just don't know. I just don't know why. I don't know. Why did you choose anything but love? Because I'm still miffed it.
Christmas episode.
Okay, everything had a Christmas episode.
Exactly. I don't know, man.
Okay. Anyway,
Why'd you pick him in?
because it was like church.
Church. Yeah. So we came up with the show called Love, Amen.
Love.
We told you what Anything But Love was about. Amen was about he was a pastor.
But his daughter married Richard Grieco? Not Richard Grieco. What's his name? Richard Lewis?
Richard Lewis? Yeah.
Something like that.
In our show,
right?
Mad Richard Lewis.
Or they had a kid?
No, whatever. They got married or whatever, and we called it Love, Amen.
Perfect.
Love, Amen.
Love, Amen.
As in, that's the answer. I like that title, I'm not going to lie.
Next.
Episode 40. It's Gary Shandling's show, and we had to combine that with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Now, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, we're not going to tell you what that is. You should know what that is.
Yes.
It's Gary Shandling's show was a sketch comedy show. So we took Gary Shandling's world and threw it into the land of make-believe, and we called it Mr. Shandling's Neighborhood.
They were all puppets.
They were all puppets.
There
you go. That's all you need. 41.
Okay, Hermans Head and Charlie and Company. Charlie and Company is notable for being Jaleel White's first show, probably.
I think his first show.
His first show. Urkel.
Urkel,
right?
yeah.
Steve Urkel from Family Matters. He was on that. Herman's Head was a cool show, kind of like the Disney movie, Pixar movie, Inside Out.
Inside Out. It's essentially the same
where there were characters
thing,
inside the head. Yeah. That was the show. So if anybody thinks that Inside Out was unique and clever, Herman's Head existed in the 80s.
Yep.
Way before that.
We created a show. What the heck was our show about?
Our show was about inside Urkel's head, where this was basically the evolution of Urkel, whose name on the show was Robert or Bobby, Robert, something like that. Right, Robbie. Yeah. So we called it Bob Rob's Head because originally he was Bob, and then he was like Bobby, and then he was Rob, and then he was Steve and Stefan, and like he had this transformation.
Yeah, he went crazy.
This character. Yeah. So basically, this was like we had it as a prequel series, right, to everything.
Yeah.
Else.
So Bob Rob's Head, we called it.
Yeah, Bob Rob's Head. So it was inside Urkel's head.
Pretty scary place. Yeah. Episode 42, we pulled out with Cop Rock again, but this time we combined it with Quantum Leap.
Which is like the same thing as Sliders? And Voiders?
No. See, here's the thing. Quantum Leap was not Sliders, because in Sliders, Sliders, they just had to wait until the next time warp showed up.
It would just pop. It would
randomly just, and they had to find it and go there.
Gotcha. If they did it, they got stuck there for like 10 years or something?
Something like that. Yeah, or they missed it until the next one. They never knew when the next one was going to come up. Yeah. It was all different times. They did help people, but Quantum Leap was about Sam Beckett his experiment went wrong. He got lost in time, and the only way for him to
Sam Beckett from Cheers?
Not Sam Beckett. His name's Sam, but it's Sam. No, his name's Beckett. What was Sam from Cheers called? Malone.
Was it Sam Malone?
I think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Sam Beckett for Quantum Leap. He had to correct something by inhabiting a person in this timeline, and then he could jump again. So we combined that, and we got Quantum Rock. Yeah. And I think it was Sam had to do a musical number before he could jump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that was that.
Sounds exciting. 43 was one of my favorites. 43 was Tales from the... 43 was Tales from the Dark Side, mixed with WKRP in Cincinnati.
That was a good one.
It was very interesting. It was the show, we came up with Tales from WKRP, and what it was the same episode, in theory, technically, every night of the week.
So same script.
Yes.
Would be done.
The same script.
Every night of the week.
So it was the same script Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you liked comedies, you'd want to watch it on Monday night because that script would be done in a comedic style. Same exact words as the Friday showing, which was horror.
Horror.
So you'd have the same script take place, just tales in the radio station.
General sense. So
it's
tales from...
just these two characters were in this one. Hey, somebody somebody's delivering a package and now getting mixed up with the manager in this episode. But those characters would appear all week. The same episode. I think it was Monday nights were done in a comedy style because, come on,
Monday nights. Thursday was sci-fi, I believe.
Something like that.
We had drama on Tuesdays.
Something. And then Friday there was like maybe like a thriller version.
Wednesday might have been a thriller, and then I don't know, something like that. But anyway,
yeah. And then Friday was horror, and it was interesting.
That was cool. That's an idea Kenny and I have had for years. So we decided, you know what, we're gonna throw it in here. Tales from WKRP works out perfectly fine. Good stuff. Episode 44. The Magic Garden and a man named Hawk. Now,
or no.
Man named Hawk.
No.
Wait, what? Man called Hawk, sorry. Man Called Hawk was another vigilante show. That's hard to figure out, right? The Magic Garden was an educational show. He was a character. Hawk was a character in. Don't remember. I'm not going to go there. Don't remember. Sorry. Doesn't matter because we combined that with the Magic Garden. We got a squirrel named Sherlock. Now, Sherlock was a puppet in the Magic Garden. Magic Garden was an educational show.
Pink squirrel?
I don't think so. I don't remember him being pink.
Really?
Yeah. You probably watched him more than me, so I don't know.
I remember him being pink.
He might have been pink. I don't know. Anyway, so Sherlock becomes a vigilante and he works with Hawk, who I believe was a real hawk.
I think we made him a real hawk.
And then we had a hawk puppet. Oh, and he was like, Hawk. And then the hawk would come down because it saw the squirrel and it tried to eat him. And he's like, no, the other hawk. And then the puppet would come. Yeah, it was basically a vigilante show of puppets. You're welcome, world.
Yeah.
Episode 46.
Okay.
5. I'm sorry, man.
This guy's killing me over here.
Man, look.
I'll take care of the numbers.
No, you won't.
You worry about your own numbers. I'll worry about
45!
I'll worry about my numbers. Got it? Okay, so in 45 we had Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and Walker, Texas Ranger. Basically,
this was a good one.
Could you think of anything better than Hercules, Texas Ranger? Now Hercules is helping people in the modern day, right?
Kevin Sorbo rolling up in modern day because he's rolling up.
Immortal. Yeah, he's hanging out. He's probably got a pickup truck.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Right, or maybe a Pegasus.
A pickup truck named Pegasus. No, that.
Or maybe a.
No, he never rode a Pegasus before. I think Clash of the Titans.
Like a dragon.
Yeah, no.
A dragon.
No.
A wyvern.
Wyvern? No. Anyway, he meets up with, he becomes a Texas Ranger. And he helps people. There you go. Hercules, Texas Ranger.
And he doesn't get a haircut.
Good stuff. He does not get a haircut, but a sweet ponytail.
All right, let's go with 4072 Z9 Z6s.
46, we had Swamp Thing and JJ Starbuck. Swamp Thing, comic book character, it was 2 movies, it was a TV show. And he was a big swamp creature that was a good guy to help people. JJ Starbuck was not a big swamp creature, but a millionaire who lost his family in a plane crash and helped people.
And he helped people.
Drove around the country helping people.
So he enlisted Swamp Thing as his driver to help him get around.
Yeah. And
10-speed brown shoe.
10-speed and brown shoe. We could have had Jeff Goldblum in this, but we didn't.
Yep. Close. So close.
This one was called "It's a Swamp Thing." I was vetoed, and I wanted to call it "It's a Swamp Thang."
I do believe that you changed this on your own.
But he vetoed me, and it became "It's a Swamp Thing," and there you go. Next.
47, Finders Keepers, the old TV show. Gosh, it was so fun. Watching the kids rummage through the rooms in the house and trying to find things.
Yeah, I loved it, man.
It was like looking for.
And they got the bonus rooms because if they got the clue right, it was the extra rooms. They were able to get in the rooms.
Remember that show?
It was a great show.
That was good stuff. And Goodnight Beantown with Bill Bixby.
Nope.
As he had a news anchor that he didn't. He was a veteran news anchor that got somebody new and feisty in there. They didn't like each other. They lived right across the hall or really close from each other. And they ended up, they ended up taking a liking to each other.
If I remember, this is the episode that you were like, you know what? Go for it. Do whatever the hell you want.
Do whatever you want. We ended up calling it Chowder.
Chowder!
I don't know why.
Because it was a show.
You know why? Because
it was a show within a show.
He had the keys.
What?
You got the keys, and you ended up with Chowder. This is what you do. This is why you're not allowed to name things or do anything. Because this is what happens.
Chowder was your name,
Episode 47.
Chowder was your name, though.
I know we were gonna call it like lobster.
Yeah, yeah. It was a game we did. It was like a show. It was like a game show within the show that we created, and they were like producers, and they would whatever.
Is that right? I don't know.
Episode 48 is Crawfords Ghosts was what we created. from The Ghost of Fafnir Hall and Ace Crawford, Private Eye.
Okay. Ace Crawford,
Need to be
Private
seen.
Eye. Just saying, it was a comedy on a detective show. It was a riff on the Private Eye genre
With
a private eye. So it was
What
still a
was his name
Private
again?
Eye show. It was just kind of funny. Gosh, I can't,
so
I
many.
can't think of. I can't
Bob
think of it.
Hoskins,
No,
nope.
nope. You said he was. You said
he
he
was
was
on the
from
Mary
something.
Tyler Moore show.
Yeah, another one. So anyway.
No, the Cal Burnett show. Sorry, he was Cal Burnett show. He was on
Yeah, that's right.
Burnett.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway,
he
the
saw
Ghost
ghosts. He would drink at the pub at the end of
Yeah.
each episode and fall in the water on the wharf.
The Ghost of Fafnir Hall was an HBO Jim Henson joint with music, classical music, and guests and stuff like that, and they were like puppets.
Yeah.
And so
Tim Conway.
Tim Conway, thank you. Crawford's Ghosts. He helped them solve things in the ghost place.
All right, here we go. 49. We had the Wonder Years and the Munsters. Kind of cool. We used little Eddie
Munster,
like
Little
narrating as an
Boy.
adult probably, and there was
We brought back Daniel Stern.
instead of
You thought it was someone else.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Or the other way around. I didn't know Richard Dreyfuss. I thought Daniel Stern was in Stand By Me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. He gets it mixed up.
Yeah, mixed up.
So here's the deal. Eddie found a mermaid friend, and he'd
Yeah.
hang out with her and everything like
Yeah.
that. So it was called Eddie and the Mermaid.
Eddie and the Mermaid. There you go. Episode 50. We had Sledgehammer and The Last Precinct. Now,
Two cop shows.
two cop shows, both comedy cop shows. Sledgehammer, amazing. Last Precinct, Adam West, Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Who else was in that? I don't know, but they were like the
dude from Babe.
The dude from Babe.
Babe, the main guy.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name?
I don't remember. Bob Hoskins. So Last Precinct was a bunch of like a ragtag group of, cops and they were on their way out. They, whatever. Sledgehammer was this like, just crazy detective guy. Does whatever he has to do to get the job done.
Oh.
Carries a huge 44 Magnum, and an hour show. He did the Sledgehammer's superiors decided to send him to this precinct that was going under, and they were going to basically shut down anyway because they wanted to get rid of all of them. And we named our show Sledgehammer's Last Stand. He goes in, he saves the precinct, and that's our show.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. 51, we had Bosom Buddies and Mancuso FBI.
Oh, God, another one.
It was called
another-
Mancuso FBI.
Bosom Buddies, great show.
I think it was
Peter Scolari and
one
Tom
of the
Hanks.
ways-
Good show, man.
If I'm not mistaken, did Mancuso go undercover as a woman or something like that, or it went one way?
It was
Or
the
his
daughter.
daughter.
It was like Tom Hanks's his character's daughter
Yeah.
became an FBI, but but she dressed like a man, the
Yeah.
opposite of them dressing as women from Bosom Buddies,
I gotcha.
and we called it Woman Cuso.
Sounds fantastic.
FBI.
Yeah.
Not bad though. I mean, finally we reach it. It's episode 52, the last one of the year. We had Miami Vice and Different Strokes. This one was kind of fun. You had Sonny and Rico were the two cops from Miami Vice, and Arnold Drummond from Different Strokes, and we brought Arnold over, and he joined the Vice squad with them, and we called it Sonny, Rico, and Arnold, and he sat in the back of the car, sometimes in the front of the car, sometimes he got the right shotgun when they were on cases and whatnot,
That's it.
and had a really good soundtrack. And
That's it.
That's that. That's 52
52.
episodes, 52 weeks of Retro Squat.
Now let's have some fun.
I'm sorry, Tube Squat. All right, so here
go.
we're just gonna give you guys real quick what our least favorite things were.
Yeah. So I think Chris's.
Oh, we're guessing. We're gonna guess.
I'm gonna guess what Chris's favorite was. Show, not the squat that we made up, but just the show. I think Chris's favorite show probably was Quantum Leap.
That's your guess. That's your final guess.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Sliders.
No. Sliders comes in very close to Saved by the Bell.
Oh, really?
Kelly Kapowski, man. I just can't.
Okay.
Lisa Turtle.
All right.
Jesse Spano.
Let's go. What was mine?
Your favorite? You know what, man? I don't know. I know what your least favorite is, and I'll get to that in a second. Your favorite. JJ Starbuck, man. You love JJ Starbuck? No, you didn't. Hold on. Three's Company. No?
No.
Really? Do you know? You do?
Something like that.
Oh, Hammer? Sledgehammer? No. The Greatest American? No, it's not the greatest.
Nope.
What? What is that? I don't know what show that is. Name that tune. Mathnet.
I'll tell you in 3. Keep looking. 2.
Oh, come on. Airwolf? No. What? I don't know that. I can't hear it. I'm trying
to play it in my head.
Can't hear it. Punky Brewster? No. Superboy, Crime Story, Voyagers, Joy Painting. I can't. I'm just going to read everything. Just tell me.
Coach, come on, man.
Oh, I said it. I said it earlier. What? I'm sorry. I said it. I get points for that because I said it earlier. All right. Saved by the Bell Coach. Great. I'll tell you your least favorite right now.
What is it?
30-something.
Yep.
Mine too.
He's got it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I was going to guess that on yours. All right. So something, a TV show that has come up that we didn't hear about or that we didn't.
Neither of us knew about before doing the researches. Getting
the
the random right.
Yeah. So.
We're not guessing each other.
Yeah. Just tell me what yours is.
Guns of Paradise.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, that I didn't know about. I knew about a lot of these. Okay. I knew I would venture to say most of these, minus some of the ones like the law ones and stuff.
Yeah.
But Guns of Paradise seemed like a cool show. I don't know why. Like I love the game Red Dead Redemption.
I gotcha.
Like I'm just into
the
that.
Western stuff.
The Western sometimes.
All right.
You know.
All right. I had Going Bananas, Chris.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Going Bananas.
Listen. Our job is to take these things and merge them together to make this 80s shared universe, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that this TV show about an orangutan got zapped by a spaceship and gave it superpowers.
It's appealing to you. I'm gonna tell you, man.
That sounds like something ridiculous that we'd make up. That's real. That TV show was out there.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
That's a real show. Going Bananas. Check it out. Seriously.
And Voyage of the Rock Aliens, similar in that it had aliens and you enjoyed it. So you're just into this alien stuff.
And the actors in the opening credits of that show were so hopeful. They looked like they had just dreams of Hollywood in their eyes.
Yep. All right.
I don't know if we've seen them in anything else. I feel so
why
bad.
don't we? The very last thing that we want to do. I think. Do you want to just really quickly tell me what your favorite tube squat was?
My favorite tube squat.
What was your favorite squat?
My favorite one would have to be, well, I guess.
You want to go by title? Do you want your favorite show title
I don't know.
squat?
I think
we'll do that. Title and or squat. You don't have to just make a full decision.
I'll give you some highlights. MacGyver That was really good.
Yeah.
The Joy of Time Travel was very good.
That's one of my favorites. Yep.
Tales from WKRP. I might have to say that edges out, most of the other things that are on here.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I think
Hercules, Texas Ranger.
Flo Wolf, best title.
Flo Wolf, one of the best titles.
Yeah.
I'd say
I know you like Booker and Hard Time on Planet Cove, starring Richard Grieco and Martin Cove as Bigby.
I love that title.
I know you do.
Some of these are pretty good. Ray and Robert, Vigilante Justice, like Newton Scott's. Like I think some of them are just really good.
Yeah.
They really tied the show, together. Anyway, that is going to do it. That's the year in Tube Squat.
Year in Tube Squat. We've done Movie Squat. Come check out Toy Squat. Tune Squat, and Game Squat.
Yep. So if you haven't checked all those other ones out, those other videos, just do that.
Yeah. Come reminisce with us for the yesteryear, literally.
That's yesteryear. This is this year.
2017.
Oh, and please go check out retrosquat.com. That's where you can find all of our other stuff that we do to keep the 80s just living, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just living in the 80s.
Just keep on, just
keep on rocking.
Chris, I like the word marinate.
Oh yeah, you want to marinate in the 80s?
We are marinating in the 80s.
Okay.
Right now.
That sounds good. Great.
I like it.
Well, now I'm hungry. So, all right. See you on the next one.